All right, again, thanks everybody for being here. We're going to go ahead and get started. If we see people coming in the lobby, anybody who has access, go ahead and let them in if I'm not looking. Be great, thank you. You should all know me, Netta Radzinski, Special Assistant for External Engagement with OCDEL. Myself and Colin Day are going to be leading the meeting here. Colin, if you want to say hi, you can.
I'm all set up to do other things, so it took me an extra little second there to get off of mute. But hi, I'm Colin Day. I'm the Director of Communications on behalf of OCDEL through the Pennsylvania Key. So for those of you that are familiar, very nice to see you again. And for the rest of you, very nice to meet you.
Thanks, Colin. We are in our new office. Today's actually my first day, so this is my very first meeting with new equipment and new views and everything. So if I'm a little slow, please forgive me. All right, so we're starting off with our agenda, which you guys all had a chance to see ahead of time, hopefully. And we're going to move into, do I have that right? Yes. An introduction activity. I was hoping that this meeting would be a little bit more interactive and a little less formal than the last one. So we were hoping to go through, and if everyone could give your name, location within PA, position of employment, and then what your priority for this council is, one of your priorities. And if you could put that in the chat as well, that way I have that information later. So Colin's going to actually go through and help me call out people from his screen. And if we could just be brief so that we're not holding everybody up, but just a quick introduction.
All right, here we go. I don't know what the order is here, otherwise I would warn everybody, but luckily I think this person will probably be ready. So we're going to start with Andrea Heberlein.
Okay, good morning, Andrea Heberlein. I represent the Pennsylvania Early Learning Investment Commission, and so, you know, it's entirety of Pennsylvania. I'm physically located in Lancaster, Pennsylvania today, and I am the executive director of ELIC. And the priority for SAC is really to, I mean, my subcommittee group is focused on increasing access, and I think that is truly ways in which we can, I want to figure out how the commission can help advance access to quality and affordable early learning, particularly from that employer lens.
Thank you, Andrea. Next, we have Shantae Brown.
Oh, wow. You want me to go too? Hi, everyone. I'm Shantae Brown, Deputy Secretary for the Office of Child Development and Early Learning, affectionately called OCDEL. And the priority for SAC, for me to be here today and to be with all of you, I really, really, really want to take time to listen. I value listening. I value your feedback. And so really excited to be able to get this time with all of you and to share the chair position with Leah Spangler. I'll be quiet.
Thank you, Shantae. Sorry to put you on the spot, but hopefully that warned everybody else, right? So next we have Adrian Briggs, if you could do your introduction.
Good afternoon. I'm Adrian Briggs, Little Bits Family Child Care Home. I just jumped on, so I didn't hear everything that you wanted.
It's actually on the screen, so your location and then your priority for being on the State Advisory Council.
Okay, location, I'm in Philadelphia. Position is a family child care provider. I am the co-chair for access and just access to all quality programs for all children.
Great. Thank you, Adrian. Next, we have Tara Deckert. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Please tell me how to pronounce it if it was wrong. Tara, are you there? We can go back. All right, we'll come back to Tara. Next, we have Deidre.
Good afternoon, everyone. Deidre Vashier. I'm currently in the Lehigh Valley, but we do serve most of Northeast Pennsylvania. I'm with Community Services for Children. And my priority for SAC, I am on the Access Committee. However, I always like to think about Pennsylvania and the child care systems as a whole, and early care and education, and anything that we can do to support not just our local child care ecology, but also throughout the state. So here to help in any way possible.
Thank you, Deidre. Next, we have Diane Barber.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Diane Barber. I'm the Executive Director of the Pennsylvania Child Care Association. I am physically located in Silver Spring Township outside of Harrisburg here in Pennsylvania. And my priorities for SAC is to understand OCDEL's priorities and directions and how they benefit young children and families in Pennsylvania.
Thank you, Diane. Next, we have Dr. Marnie Ellsworth.
Thanks, Colin. Hi, everybody. I'm Marnie. I'm the Executive Director at the Pennsylvania Key, which is the business partner for OCDEL, and I'll explain that relationship a little later. My priority for SAC is to support the work and support OCDEL in whatever their vision and mission is, and so here to listen as well. Thanks.
Thanks, Dr. Ellsworth. Next, we have Carol Austin.
Hello, I'm Carol Austin. I am in the southeast of the state, Philadelphia and surrounding counties, and I'm the executive director of First Up, formerly DeVacy. Maybe I'll stop saying that soon. And my priority for SAC is to find out what the priorities are for the for OCDEL, and really both provide input and help support guidance, and whether any of the implementation of those need it or not, but be able to provide the guidance and input, and then any additional support as needed.
Thank you, Carol. I saw Tara Decker is on. Tara, can you do your intro before I go too far away from the alphabetical order that it's kind of in?
Sure. I'm sorry for joining late. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tara Deckert. So I live actually in Lancaster County, but I work for Policy Lab at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia in the Southeast region. And I oversee a couple different projects here, research projects at Policy Lab regarding early childhood education. And my priority, I think my experience that led me here to Policy Lab is really about breaking down silos across systems, specifically related to early childhood education. And including the health system and some of those decision-making processes and policies regarding early childhood education. So I hope to bring that here to SAC and then also learn from colleagues on this committee as well, Council. So great to be with you guys today.
Thank you, Tara. So next we have Emily.
Hi, everybody. I'm sorry I was having a hard time hearing the first part of the Yvonne Schmaltz from Vominos. I am very excited to be part of this committee. I think that there has been things that have changed and evolved in early childhood education, and I'm looking forward to the impact that we can have in bringing things a little bit more up to speed and improving things overall. So I have a couple of facilities myself in Bucks County, and I'm a mother of 4, so my little bit of experience that I have is very hands-on for sure, and I'm very excited to bring that perspective to the committee. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Emily. Next, Erin Troop.
Hi, I'm Erin Traub. I'm the owner of Sprout Center for Emotional Growth and Development, located in Pittsburgh, PA. We're an outpatient mental health facility for children and families, and the treasurer for the Pennsylvania Association for Infant Mental Health. So, of course, my priority for SAC is to make sure that we're keeping children's mental health in mind while we're supporting those who care for them and for them as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Erin. Next, Tamula Ferguson.
Good afternoon. I'm Tamula Ferguson. I am a human service analyst with the Bureau of Certification. My subgroup is Child Care Certification and Quality, and I'm just looking forward to working with the providers and making connections to increase understanding and quality through child care certification.
Thank you, Tamala. Next, we have Carolyn Green.
Hi, good afternoon. Carolyn Green. I'm Chief of Staff at OCDEL, live and work in Harrisburg. And I'm excited about the involvement that SAC will have with OCDEL, just being able to get direct feedback, specifically from providers, and really just another form of communication with individuals working with and around the field. Thanks.
Thanks, Carolyn. Next, we have Heather Miller.
Hi, my name's Heather Miller. I'm the Chief Education Officer here at the York Jewish Community Center. My priority is truly just to help continue to advocate and to listen and learn from all of you, as well as create a better environment for our early childhood educators here across the great state of PA.
Thank you, Heather. Next, we have Jane Stadnick.
Hi, I'm Jane Stadnick. I am west of Pittsburgh a little ways. I work for the Peel Center, which is the Parent and Training Information Center for the state of Pennsylvania. My priority is to bring the family voice. I work one-on-one with families every day. I'm also a parent of a child with a disability that's gone through early intervention all the way up, and a former early childhood educator.
Thank you, Jane. Next, we have Carrie King.
Hi, everyone. I'm Carrie King, and I'm the President and CEO of Pennsylvania Partnerships for Children based in Harrisburg. And I would say really focusing on the importance of advocacy that highlights the intersection of early care and education with perinatal and children's health.
Thank you, Carrie. Next, we have your name's coming up. So I'm taking a guess here, Kate Otter. Somebody logged in as Kate or Kathleen Otter. We can come back to it. Okay, next we have Stacy Kenny.
I am Stacy Kenny. I am located just a tad bit north of Scranton, Pennsylvania. I am a division chief with the Bureau of Early Intervention Services and Family Supports. I am a co-chair of the Physical, Behavioral, and Mental Health Subcommittee, and our priority is suspension and expulsions. So I'm looking forward to digging into that work with my co-chair Brittany and our subcommittee.
Thank you, Stacy. Next, we have Leah Spangler.
Hi, everyone. I am Leah. I am the president and CEO of the Learning Lamp, a nonprofit serving the Southern Allegheny region of Pennsylvania. And my priority for the SAC is to ensure the voice of the ECE community is heard and considered.
Thank you, Leah. So I'm going to jump back to Kelly Brown. I think came on. I missed her. I missed her somehow. Might have been my fault.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Hi, my name's Kelly Brown. I am located in Philadelphia. I am a senior program officer for William Penn Foundation here in Philadelphia. And my priority for SAC is really to better understand ways in which funders can be thinking together around ways to collectively support some of our key issues in the state around early childhood.
Thank you, Kelly. Next, we have Ruby Martin.
Hi, everybody. I'm the Bureau Director for Certification at OCDEL. In our new offices, obviously, this is the sunny part of the day. Or I have a halo, one or the other. And my goal, priority for sitting in this meeting is to make sure I stay connected and listen and learn from the provider community.
Thank you, Ruby. Now we have Brittany Masari.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Brittany Masseri. I'm a pediatrician in Hershey, Pennsylvania. I also live there, but I'm the physician advisor for the Pennsylvania American Academy of Pediatrics Early Childhood Education Linkage System, which I think is more of what brings me here today. I think a priority for me being here is to improve communication between different early childhood entities. Because I think if we can improve communication, we can not only help with health and safety, but with many different behavioral and developmental concerns, and just make it much easier on families.
Thank you, Brittany. Next, we have Kate McKinnon. Or Kathleen McKinnon.
Kate's fine. Hi, my name is Kate McKinnon. I live in central Pennsylvania, but I'm co-chair of the State Interagency Coordinating Council for Early Intervention, and our work is statewide. I'm part of SAC's Subcommittee for Professional Development, which taps into my passion. I was faculty, I'm retired now, but I was teacher preparation faculty for 24 years. And so that in part is the priority, as well as just making links and keeping those avenues open across all the different programs. So I look forward to it. Hello to everyone.
Thank you. Next, we have Aaron McMahon.
Hi all, Aaron McMahon. I live in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. I work in Harrisburg. I'm a special assistant to the Deputy Secretary, and I am co-chairing the Access Committee with Adrian.
Thank you, Aaron. Next, we have Hannah Beth Nudrick.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Hannah Mudrick, and I'm an assistant teaching professor at Penn State Harrisburg. And so I think in my role as faculty in the Human Development and Family Studies program, really the priorities are making sure that our students and our community really understands what high quality early education is, and also really thinking intentionally about the way that we're preparing this next generation of practitioners.
Thank you, Hannah. Next, we have Sean Perez.
Good afternoon. I'm Sean Perez, the coordinator of state and federal programs for the School District of Lancaster. And one of the priorities that I'm excited to work with the subcommittee on is helping families access high quality mental health care early on.
Thank you, Sean. Next, we have Peter Zerfli.
Hi, I'm Peter Zerfli with the Community Justice Project. We're a statewide legal aid organization. I work out of the Harrisburg office, and our focus is on childcare works eligibility policy, which I guess would fall under the more general heading of access.
Thank you, Peter. Netta, you're up next. So if you want to go, thumbs up, off mute.
Sure. Thank you. Everyone should know me by now. If you don't, please reach out to me, Netta Radzinski, External Engagement. And my priority is just to create the avenues so that your priorities are, met. So just engagement. Back to you, Colin.
Netta. Thank you. So next we have Kristen Rotz.
Hi, I'm Kristen Rotz. I am the president of United Way of Pennsylvania. We're based in Lemoyne, which is right across the river from Harrisburg. Our priorities tend to focus around both access and affordability of childcare and high quality early care. So it's good to be here with everybody.
Thank you, Kristen. Then we have Christine Reber.
Hello, so great to be here. Christine Reber, I am the Bureau Director here at OCDEL for the Early Learning Resource Center operations. My priority joining you here at SAC would be to facilitate enhanced collaboration and partnerships with the 19 ELRCs that are located across Pennsylvania, and certainly to utilize their partnerships for your vision and mission here at SAC. And just want to also shout out to Brittany and say communication certainly so key, and wanting to be able to facilitate that if you all have needs with the ELRCs. Thank you.
Thanks, Christine. Next, Robin Howell.
Hi, I'm Robin Howell, and I live in and work in Edinburgh in Erie County. And I am a tenure track professor at Edinburgh, I should say Penn West Edinburgh University. And we're in early childhood education. And my priorities are to get involved with the professional development and find, I think, some alternative ways to help some of our workforce to be able to move up in their degree.
Thank you, Robin. Next, we have Kesley Shaw.
Good afternoon, everyone. Kesley Shaw, Bureau Director for Early Learning Policy and Professional Development at OCDEL. And I'm here just to really just listen and get feedback for policy changes and professional development needs that we can provide from the state. So thanks for having me.
Thank you, Kesley. Next up, Steve Doster.
Hi, everyone. Steve Doster with Council for a Strong America. We're an organization that engages some non-traditional messengers in policy discussions around early care and education, mobilizing business leaders, military leaders, and law enforcement leaders. Also part of the overall advocacy coalition, along with Carrie King, Carol Austin, Diane Barber, and Kristen Rotz. We all lead various arms of the collective statewide advocacy regarding early care and education. We are located in Harrisburg, but have membership statewide. And I guess my priority for SAC is a little more broad and a little more visionary. I would love to see the SAC become a place where we can discuss, vet, and potentially move policy that would not only expand access, but also strengthen the ECE system overall.
Thank you, Steve. Next, we have Wenzi Shab.
Hi, everyone. My name is Wensi. I am located at Indiana County, Pennsylvania. I am a family member at this advisory council. So my priority is to bring perspective from families to contribute to build a more equitable and inclusive early care and learning system. I have 3 children, and we have actively participated in the early learning programs, and we benefit a lot from the infrastructure that is inside my part of Pennsylvania. And I'm very happy to be here, and thank you so much for letting me be part of the advisory committee. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Corey Whitesell.
Hi, I'm Corey Whitesell. I'm physically located in Carlisle, PA, obviously PA. I'm a program representative with OCDEL's Bureau of ELRC Ops and Monitoring, Operations and Monitoring, that is. I'm also the co-chair for the DEIB subcommittee, and really that's my priority for SAC, is forwarding that mission with meaningful and actionable recommendations. Thanks.
Thank you, Corey. Next, we have Barry Weisling, I think actually is how it goes.
Yep, second time you got it, Colin. Hi, everyone. Barry Weisling. I am physically located in Hershey, Pennsylvania. I'm an early childhood education advisor at OCDEL, and I am a co-chair for the professional development subgroup. So my priority is to listen to everyone and see what's working, what's not working. What do we need to do at OCDEL to support professional development, maybe thinking outside the box in different ways that we can provide meaningful professional development to early childhood educators.
Thank you, Barry. Next, we have Sharon Nielsen.
Good afternoon. My name is Sharon Nielsen, and I'm located in Southwest Pennsylvania, or Southwest Philadelphia, rather. And I have fired myself as a director of Woodland Academy. I have relinquished that position to another staff member, and I am in the position of support staff to that organization. I also am a co-chair of the Voice of ECE, which is an advocacy group, and I also am a consultant with the ECE Provider Council in Philadelphia.
Thank you,
And
Sharon.
my priorities, my priority is the DEI.
Great. Thank you, Sharon. I also saw Diane Castelbono. Jump on if you could share.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Diane Catalano, Deputy for Early Learning for the School District of Philadelphia. And in one of my previous lives, I was also the K-12 Deputy Secretary for Pennsylvania when OCDEL was first created. So I have a long history and love for this work. And my priority for the SAC is for Pennsylvania to become the best state in the nation to raise a young child, because we have free high quality pre-K for every single child in the state.
Thank you, Diane. I believe I've gotten everyone, but if I did not get you, please come off mute and share. Oh,
Thank you, Colin.
McKinley.
Oh,
McKinley?
did we miss one?
I didn't think it was just put in the chat.
Hello?
Hey,
Yes.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I've been having some serious connectivity problems today. It's been dropped about 5 different times. But anyway, yeah, McKinley Rouse, Product Officer with the Pennsylvania Development Disabilities Council. I'm on the DEI committee, and I have 2 preschool to prison pipeline grants I manage them with the Pennsylvania Development Disabilities Council. I'm also over the target disparity in early learning on the council.
Thank you,
Thanks so much,
McKinley.
McKinley. Thank you, Colin. Your
Sure.
organizational skills. Love it. And thank you guys all for taking the time to do that activity. I hope that it doesn't slow us down too much, but I thought it might be helpful and meaningful for us today. Next up, we have a welcome. I have to switch slides from the chair and vice chair. So Deputy Secretary Shante Brown first.
Sure. I'm usually a lady of little words, so I promise I will not belabor this, so that we could start to get to the heart of it, and you can also hear from Leah. But just really wanted to take the time to share the value of the SAC. I know that it was a slow start, but we are definitely up and running. The Advisory Council for Early Childhood Education and Care. Did I get that right, Netta? Okay. Is an executive order that has actually come down from the governor. And really, we, there was a lot of care taken to introduce and bring all of you together to serve as our advisory council. So if you have not felt it, you will soon feel it, because you will be advising us. We will not be advising you. So really looking forward to hearing from all of you and getting that feedback. If you've noticed, our staff has been introducing themselves. They're on the call today too, because they are co-chairs. I serve as a co-chair. You'll get to meet Leah Spangler. And really, the co-chairs just allow for that continuous flow of communication between the office and all of you. But it is not because any of our folks are serving as lead, just really being able to have the communication flow. So value all of your knowledge. Some of you may hear from me. I know there's a lot of folks that are familiar with me from my previous work in Philadelphia. I will utilize the council, honey. I will call you. I will ask questions. So please be prepared and know that we really value your expertise and you being in this space today. So thank you so much for coming, and I will pass it off to Leah.
Thank you, Shante. I'm joining today from the Hershey Lodge, which is where the PA Apprenticeship Conference is happening. Access to childcare came up in every single solitary session I attended. So clearly that's an issue that we as a group need to think through and address. I'm coming to this new role in the SAC with about 20 years of experience in the field across preschool, childcare, shared services, early childhood apprenticeship, and mental health consulting. Very glad to be here and very hopeful that I will be able to help guide the work of this group and also ensure that all voices are heard and valued through the process. So I'm extremely excited to see everybody here today, and we're ready to move on with the agenda.
Thank you so much, Leah. All right, moving along. Just wanted to take a minute to introduce the new, sort of still new, certification director. I know you did give a brief introduction, but Ruby, if you wanted to talk a little further.
Yeah, just so honored and happy to be here with all of you. I have some former colleagues from my world as a provider for the last 34 years who are on this committee. So I'm very delighted to be here now in the role of Bureau Director for Certification. I have spent the last, I think we're up to 15 or 16 weeks now, meeting with certification reps and supervisors and regional managers and talking about the issues in the field and really kind of twisting the culture a little bit to be more supportive in partnership with providers. Of course, we're always going to be regulatory, but we do want to make sure that providers have a voice, and we're here to support you in any way reasonably that we can. So I'm a lover of providers, so this is a great role for me to be in now, and I thank you all for trusting me to do it. So thanks.
Thank you, Ruby. All right. So now Shantae's going to come back on to discuss the SAC subcommittees that each of you are assigned to. She'll give an overview of the subcommittees, and then I was going to go into introductions of the SAC committee co-chairs. They did just introduce themselves. All the meetings are scheduled, and only one of the subcommittees has had their meeting yesterday. So then we'll allow Carol to provide an update from diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. And then moving forward at each quarterly SAC meeting, the co-chairs would provide updates from all the work that they're working on in between the quarterly meetings. So Shantae, if you want to do the overview.
Sure. So
Thank
our
you.
SAC, I had to make sure I came off mute. Our SAC subcommittees are a diverse group of leaders within early childhood education and throughout the Commonwealth. So for each SAC subcommittee, there is an OCDEL person chaired with or partnered with a SAC leader to be really thoughtful or seen as leaders or experts in the field. They'll advise based on their lived experiences for the SAC committee members and then their professional expertise for our OCDEL folks. So OCDEL will provide suggested areas of focus for our 5 subcommittees, but it is expected that each subcommittee will determine the mission and vision of the work. The expectation is that all of you will utilize, or we will utilize as the SAC subcommittee meetings as an opportunity for collaboration, with the first steps being laying the foundation for the advisory council. So as you meet with your SAC and I think, or in your subcommittee, and I think Netta, you had already said that Carol will be providing an overview for the subcommittee that has already met. You should really be in your groups determining your subcommittee's mission and vision, determine where is it appropriate for OCDEL to do some work for the subcommittee, and then determine any goals and initiatives that we will then discuss here to help drive our work. Super committed to all 5 areas, and that I don't know if the next slide will provide all of the subcommittees so folks are aware.
Colin, if you could put the link to the SAC website, that would be helpful. I changed the last time we met, I listed out all the subcommittees. This time I don't have them separated on slides, but we'll get you the link.
But just really wanting folks to understand the value that the subcommittees have as they dive into that work, to be thoughtful about the mission and vision and the overall goals and initiatives. There'll be a lot of OCDEL work that will inform the work of the subcommittees, and so our OCDEL teams will be well versed in that work that supports their SAC subcommittee. So really excited about being able to move this work forward. I know most of the staff that are on the call today, with the exception of, I believe, the directors, serve as subcommittee chairs. So please, if you have any questions or you want to get more information about the subcommittee that you are on or assigned to, you could certainly reach out to those folks as well.
Wonderful, thank you. And Carol, if you don't mind just giving an overview about how our meeting went yesterday?
Sure. And this is a virtual background, by the way. I was scrambling just now to change it.
It looks lovely.
I know. Wouldn't it be great if I was in this setting for real? But I'm not. So yesterday, the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging Subcommittee met. A B has been added to the end of the name. And really our goal was to meet one another and find out what our priorities were for being on the committee and what would have this be, a valuable year for us. If we, and then to do some really, some brainstorming to find out some issue areas that folk would be interested in taking on. So we have, it was a great meeting. We got a lot of input, and we are utilizing that to begin to create a structure for how we move forward, and then to be able to, in the next meeting, craft a vision and mission. Now that we know what we're interested in, where we're headed, some issue areas that are relevant to us, we'll be able to utilize that to begin to craft enunciate a written mission and vision statement. One thing that was very clear for us is that we want to be able to, at the end of this year, provide some written actionable recommendations for OCDEL. It was very important for us to feel like what we want to experience, though there are members of the committee who definitely there's an opportunity here to really be able to learn from one another. The real opportunity too is to be able to make some recommendations in areas that we feel are really important. So coming soon to a theater near you. And we're going to be meeting, we're going to be meeting monthly, and our next meeting, we're not going to do anything in December. We'll be in January. So we determined all of that. Anything else, Corey, that I should add? Or
I think the only thing that might be informational here would be that we already have some interest as well to work with other subcommittees. I think that's the big piece.
Training came up as a big thing in terms of professional development in any of the areas that we were looking at. So we had some conversation about, would there be an opportunity to do some collaboration, or at least to give feedback and input into the professional development subcommittee? We said, absolutely. Why else would we be doing this if we can't give input? So, but working out the logistics of that is in place. Corey and I are co-chairs of the committee, just so you know.
Thank you both so much.
Great,
I
thank
definitely
you.
look forward to that collaboration as well between the subcommittees. And I think I did state that all of the meeting invitations have been sent for all 5 subcommittees. So if you have not received invitations to your subcommittee meetings, definitely reach out to me, because you should have by now. Next up is Marnie, and she's going to talk about the Pennsylvania Key and the connection between OCDEL and the PA Key. Thanks for being here, Marnie.
Thanks, Netta. Yeah, I was asked to provide a little bit of context setting for the relationship between the Key and OCDEL. It is a little complicated, so I'll describe it the way that makes sense to me, and certainly if anyone has questions, please let me know. Essentially, when OCDEL was envisioned, one of the things that's very common, at least, especially in the Department of Ed, is to have relationships with intermediate units to serve as a business partner who can kind of get some boots on the ground work done in a less restrictive manner, just because we're outside of the Commonwealth system, so we're able to initiate contracts or bring on staff or implement certain projects a little bit more quickly than within the office might be able to do. And so when OCDEL was created, one of the things they created along with it was a design for a business partner. And a bid was put out over 17 years ago, I think now. And originally, there was an original IU that originally got the contract. It transferred over to the Berks County Intermediate Unit a year later. And ever since then, the Berks County Intermediate Unit has housed the Pennsylvania Key. So the BCIU is really our HR arm, our technology arm. And then our work is driven by OCDEL's vision, mission, and goals. So we work very closely with Shantae and all of the directors over at OCDEL to be able to support everything that they're doing, to make things as streamlined as possible and support whatever work they feel is a priority. And so a lot of that is contracting on behalf of the office, sometimes monitoring programs on behalf of the office. Many of you are aware of the Infant Early Childhood Mental Health Consultation Program, which is funded by the office and CCDF funding, but also housed at the Key. So we have about 30, up to 30 staff now doing that program. Program quality assessment and pre-K counts monitoring are just some of the other things that we do. And the registry, which you're probably all aware of too, the Professional Development Registry. So that's really our role. And if anyone has any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. We do have 9 departments. Also the Creative Childcare Solutions is a program that was really envisioned out of the governor's initiative to support businesses in helping their staff find childcare. We know that's a big workforce issue. So Creative Childcare Solutions was envisioned under the previous administration and supported by this administration to be able to connect businesses with early child care systems level supports, whether that mean with existing providers in their communities, to help figure out innovative ways of meeting their staff needs, or in some cases, maybe opening up their own childcare. We're trying to really convince them of the other and driving folks towards the childcare that exists. But every situation is different. So there's no fee for childcare providers to connect with us and Creative Childcare Solutions. It is a fee for service that really comes from the businesses who are seeking counsel. That's how we support the program. So those are just a few highlights. I'm happy to answer any questions now or in the future. Thanks for the time on the agenda today.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you for being here. And if there's any other questions about anything under the PA key or the connection with OCDEL, you can definitely reach out to me or Marnie directly, Colin, I'm sure as well. Next up, Carolyn Green is going to talk to us a little bit about PDG. Thank you for doing that, Carolyn.
Yeah, no problem. Good afternoon, everyone. I am pinch hitting for, I should know that my husband is a huge baseball fan, so no one report that back to him. And I know Colin is a big baseball fan as well. So, so anyway, what I'm really here for is to fill in for Lisa Unrath. She is the manager of our PDG grant. She did have a conflict, but we still felt it was important to share some updates with the group about where we are with PDG. So just some general updates on the activities. The first activity of the grant is completing a needs assessment. OCDEL has entered into an agreement with Penn State Harrisburg's Institute of State and Regional Affairs. Some of you might remember that that is the same group that presented at a SAC meeting last year on the market rate survey. So we're partnering with the same group that conducted the survey. So they'll be working on the needs assessment. We're still in the very beginning phases of this. And we will meet with Penn State Harrisburg frequently as we move forward with the assessment. Strategic plan, same thing, very much in the beginning phases of this, but we are utilizing Public Consulting Group, or PCG, to conduct this work. They are currently a business partner of Pennsylvania, and OCDEL works with them. So it was very easy for us to, tap into an existing agreement and just expand some of the work that they can provide for OCDEL. So again, very early on in the process of this as well. For parent and family engagement, activity 3, OCDEL has entered into a contract with TransPerfect, and that will be putting materials, trainings, and resources in a translatable format. And we'll be tracking how often and in what languages these materials, trainings, and resources are utilized. And then additionally, OCDEL is working with JPL, a marketing vendor, to develop videos for, I guess you can call it like an informational campaign, short videos about pre-K counts, childcare work, STARS, early intervention, and Head Start. So more to come on those. For activity 4, the birth through 5 workforce and best practices, we are working with the professional development organizations, the PDOs, to update their contracts because they will be expanding their reach and recruitment efforts utilizing PDG funding. Activity 5, program quality improvement. We've hired 2 of 3 additional infant early childhood mental health consultants, or IECMH. These consultants will focus on school-age childcare, and but they can also be used in other childcare settings as well. We're also beginning to meet with Yale's Center for Social Emotional Intelligence to discuss offering a series of ruler courses to be made available on the Professional Development Registry. And if you're not familiar with ruler, it stands for Recognize, Understand, Label, Express, Regulate. And then lastly, wanted to highlight the work that Tracy Duarte is doing, and she leads the Head Start State Collaboration Office, and she's doing a lot of this work with homelessness. She's working with various coordinators of education for children and youth experiencing homelessness, and they're discussing scheduling roundtables to be held throughout the state with the goal of putting these together for spring and summer 2024. And then for activity, just one more, activity 6 for sub-grants. This was an optional activity that OCDEL decided to take part in, and we're using funding to get grants out to the community. So our first grant opportunity was to expand rapid response teams, or RRTs. The grant period was open from August 29th through September 29th, and we're currently in the process of reviewing and merging duplicative applications, and we're anticipating that successful candidates will be announced in December. And then startup grants, not any concrete or information really to share here, but just wanted to at least let SAC know that we do want to utilize PDG grants to issue startup grants, and that will be dependent on our needs assessment results, because our intent is to support childcare providers opening in areas that lack childcare, or what people refer to as childcare deserts. So after that review, just wanted to share how we're thinking as of now, SAC would be involved in PDG. So with the needs assessment, we will need help disseminating surveys, getting information out to the field. So we'd definitely be looking for SAC members to help with that. A potential meeting, either virtual or in person, in January to discuss further. I don't have any concrete details, but at least wanted to share that. get that on your radar. Same with the strategic plan. We'd also need help disseminating information, getting surveys out to the field. And then again, a potential meeting in mid-January as well. And then for the startup grants, I did mention that OCDEL's goal is to target areas that we will define as childcare deserts, but we still want to coordinate with SAC or get feedback from SAC on maybe what are some other other factors that should be considered when we're putting this application together. So just some brief updates and thoughts that we wanted to share.
Great. Thank you so much, Carolyn. And if there are any
Thanks.
questions, you can put them in the chat. There you go. Carolyn, there's one. How will the vision, mission, objectives, and activities work of the SAC be included in the work to craft the strategic plan? Is the strategic plan OCDEL-wide or only related to PDG? Carolyn or Shantae?
Oh, yeah, I can start, and if Shantae, you want to add, but the strategic plan is statewide. And then I think we can incorporate objectives that we're looking for at SAC. That's why we are including the SAC in this process, to see what some of the objectives are here and if or how they can be brought over into the strategic plan.
And the strategic plan won't be something that's done in a silo. So as we start to craft our strategic plan, you will, as SAC members, and we'll also be getting some stakeholder input on that actual strategic plan. It's not something that, one of the things that we really want to be thoughtful about is working in a silo. We don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we are hearing from all of you, getting feedback, input, and doing a little bit more collaboration, and that would be any of the work that we do. And we're trying to be as transparent as possible about the work that we're doing with PDG. So hopefully, Diane, that answers your question, but if not, please let us know.
And I'll just add real quick, I know I just have, for the needs assessment and strategic plan, one potential meeting. That's what we know of so far. So it won't just be a one and done involvement, but just wanted to, for your awareness, let you know we're thinking of putting together a meeting in January on these two components, these two activities.
Great, thank you. And again, Diane, if you need to come off mute, you're welcome to. Any other questions, feel free to come off mute, put them in the chat. And Shantae is going to give a little bit of information update on a couple of the programs, Keystone Stars and Pre-K Counts.
I don't have a lot of program updates. I don't think I do. I can go through my notes again, just to make sure. But is this where, and I'm sorry, I'm forgetful. Is this where you don't have a special screen just for me to be able to talk about the grants, or am I talking about it here?
This is the time.
All right, just making sure. See,
Thanks.
This is why I need my folks to help me keep it
I
together.
wanted this one to be less formal, but maybe we do need a few notes.
No, that's fine. So for Keystone Stars, one of the opportunities that I wanted to be able to share with all of you, and we'll be actually putting out some formal documents really soon to our ELRCs and our staff, is just a continuous quality improvement grant for Keystone Stars providers. So we get a lot of feedback and have heard a lot of feedback about, the education retention awards going away and the value that they had on the community, and wanting to know if that would come back. This is not that. This is it's a quality improvement grant that would be available for those that hold a regular certificate of compliance as of 11/30/2023 and are designated as a Keystone Stars provider, stars 2 through 4, on 11/30/2023 as well. So if you are a licensed facility and you are participating in stars 2 through 4, our family group, school age only, and our child care centers will have the opportunity to receive an award. And the structures are, of course, based off of size amount, but can be as small as $500 and as large, thinking about our largest center and their license capacity would be as large as $7,000. So we will have additional information coming out soon. Those improvement grants can be used in 4 categories, and that would be staff qualifications and professional development, our early childhood education program, relationships with families and communities, and then leadership and management. So it's tied to those 4 categories. And it'll be a one of the things that we asked is that the application process or the statement to be able to get the award is extremely simple for our providers. So really working with the team to make sure that they're only completing a 1-page document along with maybe an informational page. So I think, Aaron, I asked specifically that it was no more than a page. And I think we're at like maybe a page and a half to be able to provide the information that providers will need to be able to get the funds. But really thinking about the needs of our childcare community and the access to funds. We're trying to move this pretty quickly. So hopefully we would have finalized everything by the holiday and being able to kind of get this information out to our ELRCs between the 18th and the 29th so that providers can start to review and apply between December 18th and opening the window being opened up for as long as February 15th. So those are not concrete dates. It has not yet been finalized, but just wanted to let you all know that we're trying to be really thoughtful about another grant opportunity for the provider community and calling it a quality grant because it would only be available for stars 2 through 4. So that's our Keystone Stars update for pre-K counts. There's been a lot of things happening with the pre-K counts program just because we are still awaiting a fiscal code for pre-K counts, but still moving the program without that specific fiscal code. So due to the delay of the budget impasse, the rebid information was shared with our providers late in the process, and we acknowledge that. However, we've been working with all of our providers to ensure if they have not yet received payment, that they are at least working through all of their contracts. So if you hear of a provider who is having trouble with contracts, they should be working with someone from our team to get that resolved. I believe that information went out about how best to receive payment if those agencies or an agency has not yet received payment. I think at this point and on this date, we should be okay there. We're only talking about a handful of people if we're talking about any people at all. And then really trying to move the program forward. The biggest question that we always get is what are we doing around reallocations? Currently at this time, our team will be monitoring, but we will not be reallocating seats at this time. That's the only the update that I can provide. Folks want to know when the exact date will come. I do not have that at this time. As soon as I have it available, I will let every single pre-K counts provider know in addition to our team so that we can share that message. But at this time, we are monitoring enrollment, but we will not be doing reallocations. So I'm not sure. I'll pause there in case folks have questions. I will try to answer your questions as best I can, but sometimes I'm honest to a fault. If I do not have a response today, I'll try to have a response for you as soon as possible. So I'll pause there.
Shantae,
Thanks,
this is
Shantae.
Tara. Sorry, Netta. This is
No,
Tara.
please, Tara.
Can you just repeat the 4 categories for the award structure? I heard staff, professional development and qualifications, family engagement, leadership, and management, and then there was a 4th.
Staff qualifications and professional development, early childhood education and programs, partnership with family and communities, leadership and management. And they're
Can you
also saying, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Tara.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
And they're also saying that accreditation could also be covered as well. But there'll be information, and I'm so sorry, everyone. I did not eat today, so I threw something in my mouth thinking I was done talking. So I apologize, Tara,
No
for talking
worries.
with something in my mouth. But they're also saying that accreditation could be covered, and there'll be additional, like an appendix that will support this. So folks are very aware of what are eligible and ineligible expenses for this particular award.
Before you put another bite of food in your mouth, can I just ask for clarification? Sorry. Can I just ask for clarification? What, so the three of them make sense to me in terms of like, from a, like a qualification Keystone Star provider. But can you say a little more about what you mean by early childhood education programs related to Star?
Sure, that would be your curriculum. If you wanted
Got
to purchase assessment, classroom materials or supplies, if you wanted to cover your accreditation costs, information technology, health and safety equipment. So just about any of the things that supplies that you would need would fall under that category, it looks like.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And Kathleen just put in the chat that they are the 4 Keystone Stars performance standards categories. And thanks, Kathleen.
And Kesley, since you're ready, you can hop on for the update for Impact Project, which is the certification regulation rewrite project.
Okay, sorry, I had my standards up. I was trying to copy them over. But yes, good afternoon, everyone. So just a quick update on the rewrite project. It's still moving along. I know there's been some questions about where we're at in the process. We did submit it through our internal DHS review process. We got some feedback from our legal, budget, and policy offices at DHS, and now we are taking that feedback and having our internal staff, or specifically our regional managers, look over that feedback and provide some additional clarity and feedback utilizing a tool that was developed in partnership with the State Capacity Building Center, TA specialists. So it's not going away or anything like that. We're just really being strategic about the feedback that we've received and being able to incorporate that not only from the DHS legal policy perspective, but also internally from our staff. So again, that will, delay our timeline. That's roughly going to take us about 9 to 12 months, just give or take. We haven't gotten specific dates just yet to do that internal process. And then I know Shantae is very transparent when it comes to providing the information about public comment and when we're getting closer to that. But again, that part is delayed as of right now. So nothing's happening. I think the dates we were giving previously, I probably get this wrong, Shantae. I think we were saying summer of next year, but that's going to be pushed out even longer now. So I don't know if there's anything else, Shantae, you wanted me to share, but that was just a high level kind of timelines and where we're at with the project.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry,
Oh, go ahead.
Shantae. Stacy had her hand up, so I didn't know if she wanted to ask a question about impact.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't even realize I did that. I must have pushed it by mistake. Sorry about that.
Yep, you're good.
No, I was just going to say, Netta, first of all, Kesley, yes, you shared all the details. I just want to reiterate that we are not changing the regs. Sometimes, every now and again, I get like a panic call from providers who are like, you are changing the regs tomorrow and you didn't share this information. That is not our intent. Please know that before anything is shared, you will have the opportunity to, or providers, the community, stakeholders will have the opportunity to provide public comment. But we're really trying to be very thoughtful about this process and working with both certification and our policy folks to include a lot of information. I know there was a feedback process that was provided in the beginning of this work when we first started, and Kathleen and her team did a really good job of implementing over, was it 2,000 comments? Over 2,000 comments to be able to put them in and be thoughtful since we had our initial draft, but we are definitely still working on it. And before anything is implemented and shared in any way, we just want to make sure that we're getting this right and being thoughtful about the resources that need to complement the regs as well. So all of these documents will be public, and that's new for us. So we're just trying to get it all together so that they can be reviewed at one time.
And I don't know,
Okay.
Netta, do you want me to give an update on the CCW regs? Maybe some people get those two mixed up.
Sure. Let's, Emily, what is your question quick before we move
Thank
into a
you.
different?
Sorry for the quick question. I just wanted to ask, since the rewrite, the impact project, would there be an opportunity for a subcommittee like ours, Tamala and I are in the quality rating committee, to maybe further offer some contributions as we move through this committee and maybe have a little bit more involvement in that project?
Yeah, and I think even if you can't give an answer today, that's the exact question that you want to be asking for your subcommittee. So we can certainly discuss it. And that's the kind of work that we want you to be thinking about. Kesley, do you want to? Were you trying to come off mute or was
Oh,
there
no. I was just going to say, like, we definitely have incorporated, I know there was an an ad hoc subcommittee that we had working on this project. So we're definitely working with Netta and just trying to make sure we have the right folks on those lists, because they are going to be a part of the process as we talk about phase 2. What Shante was saying about the policy guides, the operational pieces and training and tip sheets. So as part of our project timeline, our major long timeline, that was included to have the subcommittee a part of that process to review it, provide feedback as well. So once we get to that point, we will definitely, like I said, work with Netta to get that information to the appropriate subcommittee.
Thank you, Emily. Kesley, do you want to talk CCW regs?
Oh, yes. So just a quick update on CCW regs. So that is a package that is going to be approved here very shortly, probably in the next month, and published. So our CCW, which is our childcare work, subsidized childcare regulations, they will be updated and published. We are hoping tentatively that they will be published in the bulletin in December 16th. And they go effective the day that they are published. So there's no 30 days, 60 days. Those will be effective the day that they are published. And I will say 95% of those regs have been already implemented through policy since the final rule was updated in 2016. So again, there are a couple minor changes to those regulations that we will be issuing some policy around because again, those go effective the day they are published. So I just wanted to give a quick update to this group in case they saw a bulletin come out about regs. It's CCW regs, childcare works, not certification regulations. So if you have any questions, please definitely let me know.
All right, I'll go slow. We're going to change gears, but if there's questions, definitely come off mute or put them in the chat. Steve Doster is actually going to help us announce something that we're all pretty excited about, the OCDEL Start Strong listening sessions. Steve, if you could.
Yep. Thank you, Netta. So we wrapped up with the great help of Tara Deckert's team at CHOP Policy Lab. We conducted a fairly comprehensive survey with the support of OCDEL back in September of this fall. We were surveying providers on a range of topics, including their interactions with the different programs and OCDEL overall. We wanted their opinion on different problems they're facing and potential policy solutions to address those problems. And we wanted to do yet another snapshot of how the hiring crisis or staff crisis in the early care and education sector was impacting their operation. We had 721 providers respond to that survey, and given the comprehensive nature of it, that's a pretty good number. And we do have results from that survey. So the next step here, in partnership with OCDEL, we will be scheduling a series of listening sessions throughout the Commonwealth, I believe a dozen or 13, and we will be breaking them up in different ELRC regions. Some ELRCs we're combining with others, but we'll be making a public announcement soon about about the dates that have been selected for these listening tours. So providers will be asked to attend the listening session that aligns with their ELRC region, and we'll also be having a special listening session for YMCA providers because of them being the largest childcare provider in the state, and I believe a special session for home-based providers as well. And really, we want to achieve two things with these, well, three things really, with these listening tours. We want to present the data from the survey, what we heard. This is especially relevant as we in the advocacy community are looking ahead to white papers to the administration to potentially ask for certain policy considerations. So we'll be presenting the data from the survey. Most importantly, we want to engage providers to respond to that data, to tell us their stories about what they're facing, and get their reactions to the responses that we saw in the survey. They truly are a listening tour. And then, you know, both from the advocate side as well as the OCDEL side with Shantae, just making that connection to providers across the Commonwealth in a meaningful way as we seek policy solutions to strengthen and stabilize ECE providers, as well as ensuring access to the families that they serve. So we should, in the next couple of days, we will be publicly announcing these listening sessions, and they are scheduled to start, I believe, the week following Thanksgiving and will continue into mid-December. So be on the lookout for that announcement. And if there's any I forgot, Netta or Shantae, please backfill.
I feel like that was a really great recap. Shantae, is there anything Steve missed, do you think?
No, I gave him a thumbs up. I think he covered it all, but really excited about the opportunity to partner so that we can hear from the, I say stakeholders and the ECE community. I'm excited.
All right, this is the last portion of the agenda, a time for any of our SAC members to provide any updates that they would like to provide to OCDEL or to their colleagues. So I'll slow down, and if anybody wants to come off mute or put anything in the chat, we'll just take a minute here. Feel free to do so before we go to Leah for a closing.
Netta, Sharon's question about providers not being able to complete the survey. I mean, we've shared the survey and all of the ways that we knew how. So I'm not really sure, and that's why we have an advisory committee, right? If there were other ways that we could have shared that survey or garnered the information in a very different way, I'm not really sure, and I would look to the folks from the campaign to be able to offer a little bit more feedback. But I do know that you know, the campaigns were sharing, we were sharing, we had shared in all of our various newsletters and in different ways. So I don't know any other ways that we would have been able to gather the information or the feedback.
Yeah, if there's any ideas or solutions, that we definitely want to tune for that. Right.
Oh, and Netta, I'm sorry, I don't know if this is the place to share, but and please correct me if I'm wrong, because I always get the exact date wrong, but just want to keep plugging our future opportunities. So in March, we will be hosting our conference. And so I just thought that that would be a good time to share. We might see each other again, but I just got to keep throwing it out there because time is.
I think you and Kate McKinnon had the exact same thought, and I meant to actually call out Carolyn, if you don't mind, providing a quick update on the March conference.
Sure. We are working through the agenda for the March conference. Let me just pull up a It will be March 25th and 26th, a Monday and Tuesday at Hershey Lodge. We've been working internally, finding some keynote speakers, also some breakout sessions for the 2 days. We are working on getting hotels booked because we want this to be very provider focused and to remove as many barriers as possible. So we're doing a lot of work on that, and hopefully within maybe a month, we will have a registration link and registration will be open. So once we have that ready, Netta, I can work with you and we can make sure SAC members have that either so the providers who are part of SAC can register or at the very least send out to their networks. So
Yes, for sure.
so attendees, there's no selection process. It is geared towards childcare providers. So we are opening it up to all childcare providers. They would have to register. We do understand that, there are over, 6,500 providers, so we can't get everyone. But we do have the capacity to host about 500 people at the lodge. So still a large group, but again, we do recognize that's not the whole field. And we have been thinking, where can we repeat sessions in future events? The pre-K counts grantees have a conference. Maybe some of those can be repeated there. Maybe this becomes an annual thing. So something that we are considering. I see is support with hotel and travel costs available. Not for travel costs, but yes, for hotel. We are working on that because we do understand that finances can often be a barrier for childcare providers. Another question from Carol, is it 1 or 2 spots per provider or first come, first serve? A little bit of both. We wouldn't want a whole facility attending. But Marnie, I feel like we do have some language where we want to include language where a director and a teacher would attend together, just to kind of collaborate and hear the same information and bring it back to the facility. So weren't we asking like teams of 2 or 3, or if you have to come on your own?
Yeah, we haven't put that out yet. We're still working on the registration form, but we did talk about that, Carolyn. Yes.
But yeah, we're very excited to offer this. Shantae and I have met with some of the keynote speakers, and even just the little intro meetings we've had. They were really inspiring, and I'm really excited for this to all come to fruition in March.
Great. Thank you, Carolyn. Thanks for hopping in there too, Marty. Any other questions about the conference? They actually will help us with our planning. So you can bring those my way or through your subcommittee, whatever works best. And if there's any other questions, definitely come off mute. We have plenty of time yet, or put them in the chat. And then we'll go over to you, Leah, if you want to provide the thing.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for your time today. Greatly appreciated. I know it's hard to carve an hour and a half out of your schedule. I'm asking the committee members to please stay engaged with their subcommittees and share. And I'm really looking forward to working with everyone to better serve Pennsylvania's children and families. Thank you, Shantae, for giving us this opportunity. And Janetta and Carolyn, thank you for your amazing support with putting this meeting together, and Colin as well for helping us organize and put together a message.
Arnie, do you want to take the question in the chat?
Yes.
It rings,
Thank you,
Marty.
Hannah. Yeah. Thanks, Adrian. Yes, actually, it is a huge focus, although we're trying to avoid the word self-care and more focus on well-being and mental health. Self-care is kind of getting a bad rap, and it really does put the onus on the individual, and we believe it's a community of care that's required to support our providers. So there's going to be a lot of offerings, a lot around trauma-informed care, not just for the children and the families, but also for our staff and the providers. We're also offering some social and emotional learning opportunities and mindfulness and other connections to well-being. And so all of the presenters, especially the keynotes, know that this is about care for the human, the adult human who's coming. You're welcome.
Good point. And Adrian, thank you for bringing that up. Much appreciated. All right, if there's anything else, again, come off mute, put it in the chat, and always feel free to reach out to myself or any of the other OCDEL staff on this call. Thank you all so much for being here, and I really look forward to working with you in this capacity and in the subcommittees as well. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye,
Thanks,
everybody.
everyone.